What's up, everybody? Welcome to the K-Pop Kimchi Podcast, your number one podcast for girl groups with the number one fanboys. I'm your host, Justin Turneau, with my co-host, Brian Limper. We're back in the studio, this time on Saturday night, because we just watched week 11
It's been a lot of weeks.
of I-LAND2. It's like darn near an NFL season, kind of.
Pretty close.
Like, it's not too far off from a whole NFL season.
It's always weird watching these because it doesn't seem like it's been a long time, but also you think about it, you're like, it's been going on for a while.
It pretty much always hits me, yeah, because you're right. You don't remember, or yeah, you don't think about it, but then at the end, when it's like, episode such and such will be available in a week, you're like, wow, we've watched a lot of episodes.
Really
it's like,
have.
episode 12 will be next week. We're like, holy
Like,
crap, we've watched 11 of those.
Let's say 12 episodes, so if you break it down, it's like almost 3 months pretty much.
Yeah.
So that's like 1/4 of the year we spent watching this.
Watching this show. It's wild.
It really is.
Crazy time.
We've really helped, some of these girls achieve their dreams.
Dude.
We're voting 6 times in 1 week.
Yeah, I know. I don't know, but next week is the last one. We know that.
Yeah, so we're going to have a reaction video to that. We would have had one this week, but I didn't realize there was actual real, type of elimination kind of... Not really eliminations, but...
It was like reversed. It was
I don't
it was
know,
like
it was
who
weird.
made it.
We thought that they were just going to say who got eliminated,
Yeah.
but they literally, reversed and they said who made the group. It was weird. I don't know. But we didn't even do a video for this because I didn't think that was going to happen. And now it makes sense why the episode was so long.
Yeah.
I was like, why is it taking so long for two people to be
reversed.
eliminated?
It was more of like who made it and who, then the other people were left behind, so.
But I bet all of you are curious why we're recording on a Saturday.
Yeah.
That's because we were in Canada. Technically Canada and Chicago. So, didn't have time to do this on the road because that was a very long drive.
Yeah.
But we are now doing it here, catching you all up because we were dedicated to the fans.
Absolutely. I mean, we had, obviously, week 11, we have to watch it. We just had to push it back one day.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to hear about our experience going to the shows in Canada where we saw Purple Kiss, we met some really cool
Oh my gosh.
Canadian bros who are in the Discord now. So if you're listening to this, you guys are pretty cool.
We love you.
We will come see you guys again here in a couple months. And we also went to Chicago and saw ITZY. So we actually have a whole episode we put out earlier today.
Yeah.
So if you want to go listen to that, you can find out how...
The recap.
Yeah, what the recap of that was and how we like that and all that kind of stuff. But we are now here in the present, and we brought these chips with us from Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Managed to sneak these bad boys through customs.
Somehow. We did.
So we decided, instead of eating them, we were going to try them on the show for you right now, because we've never seen these flavors.
Yeah.
One of them we did eat, but we weren't really saving that one, and it was like a classic... Is it Lay's? Lay's Ridges, and they were masala flavored.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Middle Eastern people up there that we saw, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
They were very good. They had very good spice to them. Not gonna lie, I was very impressed with these.
They were good. We had them in the car yesterday.
But we've got these other ones. These ones I'm gonna try first because I've been wanting to try these since we bought them. And these are limited time only Ruffles Double Crunch Zinger Hot and Spicy Chicken KFC flavor.
It's a lot, but it looks good.
It says it's limited time. Don't know what that really means.
Yeah.
So, and if any of our Canadian friends are listening to this, will you let me know if this is actually limited or if it just says it on the bag? So, pop these bad boys open, give these a try, get the ASMR going. I guess
Is
it
it
kind
the
of
KFC?
smells like a Ruffle. I don't really know.
It smells kind of like cheese.
All right, here we go. Let's get it. Whoa!
They're good.
These are pretty good.
I like it.
They do have some good spice to them. That's a good chip right
Yeah,
there.
I like it. Thanks, Ruffles KFC.
Zinger. Man, these are addictive. Alright. That was a good one. Next up,
Here.
we've got these Havoc Brazier Bulgogi Blaze ones. They look very spicy based off the package.
Yeah, there's like a pepper on it.
Crunch into an exotic mix of blazing intensity with every bold bite.
Yeah.
The little flame thing is in the middle of the spice-o-meter back here.
Yeah, I know.
And the barcode is on fire. So, let's try this out.
That fiery bulgogi.
Woo! Those boys smell spicy.
Yeah, they do. I'm gonna grab one here.
They really love the ridges up there.
They do. It's like the same shit.
It's like
almost.
dark red.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's pretty good.
It's good too.
Oh, that's spicy. Woo! It is spicy.
Also, we bought all these at the local Essos gas station.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we did.
So far, out of the 3 chips we've tried, they must love spice up there because they've got. Those are good though.
Well, they're spicy. I need a sip of my very melted icy.
Because you have one more to try here before getting the show. This one actually is Miss Vicky's. You probably have seen Miss Vicky's. They're just chips. You get a lot of them around like Subway.
Yeah.
This actually has a stamp on it that says crafted in Canada with a maple leaf.
That's why we got it.
Never seen this flavor before in my entire life.
Yeah.
And this is sweet chili and sour cream.
Okay.
Very interesting mix.
Yeah, it really is.
This must be the exclusive Miss Vicky's Canada flavor. Those bulgogi ones are good, but they do have some spice to them, man.
It really does taste like a ramen, like kind of seasoning on it too. Thank
Smell
you.
pretty good. All right.
Smell good?
Sweet chili and sour cream. You know, not bad. I think it tastes more of the sour cream than the sweet chili.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not bad. I mean, they're good. It's good. It's just chips.
Yeah, I mean, it tastes like sour cream chips. Still eat them.
Yeah. Solid.
All right, Canada, you guys got some good potato chips.
Seriously, you guys know what you're doing up there.
Yeah, my gosh.
Over there, wherever you are.
Up there. But yeah, we got some other stuff we brought back. I got a bunch of like souvenirs for all the people that I work with and my grandma. Of course, I had to get some maple syrup. Product of Quebec.
Absolutely.
Which ironically I bought on the border, which I'm pretty sure is on the American side, but
yeah, I think so. I think it was.
But no, whole week, whatever, fun experience.
Go check out our recap. It was
Fun enough for us to come back again.
Really, really awesome, and yeah, be prepared.
Prepare yourselves, Canada. We're coming back.
Be prepared.
Going on the second tour.
Yes.
But that leads us into our Not What You Came For segment. And I got a fun recommendation because we listened to a ton of music this week.
Lots in the car.
But my recommendation is going to be an old school band called Third Eye Blind.
Oh, yeah.
Because for some reason I got brought up in the Discord like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I've been listening to their album Third Eye Blind like nonstop for the last like couple weeks. And we listened to it in the car.
We did.
And that just has like all the freaking bangers on there.
Yeah.
I'd say my favorite song that they have on that album, I mean, that's all the ones, I like the popular ones that people know.
Sure.
But I'd say my favorite one has always been Graduate. That's like one of my favorite songs off of that one. And How's It Gonna Be? That's always a good one too. But then you always got like the classic See Me Charm Life, Jumper, Losing a Whole Year is also a good one. But they had 2 really good albums. They had that one and they had Blue, which like the first like 97, 98, like when they were really popular. So we listened to that. That was a good time. Love Third Eye Blind. Really takes me back to my childhood listening to their inappropriate lyrics on the radio that I didn't know were inappropriate because it sounded so upbeat and happy.
I just love the vibes.
Yeah, I was just vibing.
It's all about the vibes, right?
5-year-old me was vibing pretty hard.
Yeah. That's a good one.
That's my recommendation.
Is that who we were listening to right when we crossed the border? Well, the bridge?
I don't remember.
That
seems like it was like months ago, man.
I know, that was a really crazy trip, but that's a good pick.
Who you got?
So I actually have one today. It's I heard a song on the Instagram reel and it sounded cool, so I looked it up. And it's a band, or I don't know if it's a band or a person or who it is, but they're called Marvel 83, and pretty much what it is, because they're on Spotify, is they just make like 80s kind of like synth beats.
Oh, sick.
And it's really awesome. So I just checked them out, and it was like I just love the like kind of 80s big
Marvel
sounding
83.
like yeah, Marvel 83. There was one, I don't know if it's a band, person, whatever. There was one with like singing, but a lot of them were just more like instrumentals. It was kind of like that awesome kind of heavy synth driven 80s, like it's just 100% 80s vibe. Like that's like the the vibe they're going for, and I love that kind of music. So it was really cool. I've been listening to them a lot. They're on Spotify. They have a good amount of listens on their stuff, so I guess they're
I'll have to check them out.
They got like about 86,000 monthly people, so obviously somebody knows about them. So they're pretty cool. It's like Marvel 83, and there's like a little like, I think it's apostrophe. I don't know. I haven't been to English class in a long time, but they're very cool. So check that out.
That reminds me of, I used to always get random recommendations, through Spotify.
Yeah.
and they'd give me like this random, I don't know if it's a person, a group, a computer, I don't know what it is, but it was just like 8-bit like music to like random stuff that I like listen to.
Yeah.
Like this is the 8-bit version of like Counting Worms by Knocked Loose. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, I think I got.
And it's just like a remix of it.
I think I got a Census Fail one before.
Like they're just random.
Yeah.
I'm like, who is this person?
There was I think I listened to one of those. It was like Census Fail. And it
Yeah,
was
it's like,
I listened to it, I was like, this is kind of cool, I guess.
8-bit Dying Wish.
Sure.
I don't know.
There was another, I forgot who it was, but it was another person who was pretty much this too. It was just like they made like 80s, like it's just like synth and there's like guitars sometimes. It's just such cool music and I love it. It's just like it's just like 100% vibe music that you just kind of have on. It's like the YouTube video where it's a video but it's not, and it's just like a car driving on the road and it just doesn't stop or change. It's just like kind of like the little girl listening to music and it just nothing.
Did we ever find her?
Yeah, that's been years now.
She okay?
We're still looking.
The hopeful study girl.
We're gonna make the awareness campaign back again, but yeah, Marvel 83. If you like 80s synth beats, go check it out.
You have to check that out. That sounds pretty sick.
We'll follow them.
All right. Well, that was a very good opening to the show. Because now we have the beef of the show, the meat and potatoes. Which, I mean, honestly, it's weird.
It's really not too
I feel like a
much.
lot of stuff didn't really happen. It's a long episode for like no
This
reason.
was a 2
almost
hour
3
and
hours.
48-minute episode, I believe.
Like, we're talking like old school eliminations.
Like we're almost to Chicago during the time of this episode.
And if we were going to St. Louis, we'd at least be in Litchfield.
Worst drive ever.
But no, it was a long episode. It really just started out, with the whole flashback to everything that we've already seen 900 times.
Which, they do that, so we skipped it.
And then we got into a thing where they basically were picking new teams to do their last little thing that they got to do, performance stage. And it was like a make it yourself kind of thing, where essentially you had 2 leaders, one for each team. They picked their group. They picked which song they wanted, which we're going to get into that in a minute because that's a whole nother thing.
Yes.
And then they had to like pick their concept, their outfits, like all that kind of stuff, like from start to scratch. Like basically build it yourself.
Pretty cool thing. I mean, the idea was cool.
Yeah, the idea was fine. But our 2 leaders were the number 1 and number 2 overall ranked trainees. So one team was G-Man and the other team was Coco.
Yep.
And then they basically went back and forth like a draft. They like put them on a draft clock and they had to like pick who their members were going to be.
Yep.
And the first member off the board, surprisingly, was, well, not surprisingly, I guess, because she was number 3, was Ji-Yoon, who went to Coco's team.
Yep.
Good pick right there.
Absolutely.
And then, I mean, after that, Ji-Min picked Fuko, which makes sense because she was the other,
right. It was like it was literally just like the top people.
Yeah. And then at the end of it, Coco ended up with Jung, which is another great pick. Like, talk about a freaking 4th round steal right there.
I know.
Yuju, Soo-Jung, and Juwon. And Ji-Min ended up with Giri, Sarong, Sabi, and Mai. So
it was funny because, well, how they put it was Coco just kept picking everyone.
Oh, yeah.
That was actually really funny.
Ji-Min's like, I know if we need strong vocals, I'm going to get Ji-Yoon first. And I know if I need a dancer, I need to get Soo-Jung first. So hopefully she doesn't pick those. And then Coco be like, I'm picking Ji-Yoon. All it's did was like the sad little ball. It's like depressed in like the depression commercials,
Yeah.
For like the antidepressants with like the little storm cloud over
Yeah.
them. And it just like had them high-fiving. She's like sitting there grayed out with a storm cloud over her.
And like she like was like kind of smiling after the first one. She's like, okay. And then like she picked her next pick too. And she was like, okay, this sucks.
Like there's no way. Like,
it was pretty funny actually.
And then after that, they had to pick their song that they wanted to perform. And here's the thing, right? There was a lot of choices of songs that they could pick.
Was there 8 songs?
There was a bunch. Like, there was a lot of songs, right?
There's a lot.
And if anyone who's listened to this podcast for more than at least a year, I mean, we've been doing this for like 4.5 years almost here, 5 years,
Holy
get close.
crap.
One song we are so tired of hearing on anything, not just on, like elimination shows, anything, is Into the New World by Girls' Generation.
Yeah, I mean,
like, it's not that it's like a terrible song. We've just heard it so much.
it's just everywhere.
I just do not ever want to hear
everything. It's just like, I don't know. But lo and behold,
one of the songs that
it
got
was
picked,
one of the options.
because it's one of the options. There was that, La Ta Ta by Idol, Happiness by like Red Velvet, Fearless by La Seraphim,
Dalla Dalla was there.
Yeah, by ITZY. Attention by New Jeans.
Attention was there. Hot and Cold or whatever the FX one was. That whatever that song. I don't even remember the other one. It was like good song. Like there was really cool ones that we were excited.
Oh, one is like Good Girl, Bad Girl.
Oh, what was I saying?
By Brown Eyed Girls.
That's what I was saying. I don't even know what I was thinking of.
I mean, kind of the same
hot,
generation.
cold, good, bad, opposite.
Close enough,
right?
The point is, the one song everyone kept saying like, "Oh, let's do this, let's do this one." Like they were going over on Coco's group, like they just didn't know what they wanted to do, and G-Man's team was like, "We want to do La Ta Ta by I-LAND." Why? I have no idea.
Yeah, that was
because like there's so many choices. Like, why are you guys doing this? And it's La Ta Ta by I-LAND, and of course I went into like the room of decision making.
Yeah, the leader did.
And basically Coco got to pick first, and she was number one, and then whatever she picked, they got, and the next person had to pick. Well, I guess it was G-Man, not really a next person. The next leader.
Yeah.
Or other leader picked what they wanted, and then if it was picked, she had to pick something else. And of course, La Ta Ta got picked because that's when G-Man wanted, and somehow Coco's team picked it. And so it was basically a spoiler, like, oh my gosh, what is she going to pick now? Like, there's no other choice. Like, 8 other options. Which one is she going to pick? And of course, she picked into freaking New World.
Yeah.
And I was like, you got to be kidding me.
That was deflating. That was the most deflating, but honestly, it's probably like my least songs I would have picked, each of them. I'd be like, these are probably my last 2 choices. Well, Into the New World, 100% not picking it, but I mean, La Ta Ta's fine, but I definitely would have rather seen every other song.
The best is we always complain there's like nothing's picked from like this generation or last generation. There was like old songs, like
sure,
pick some newer songs to do, and of course they had the opportunity to do that, and nobody picked them.
There was a good, man, like I don't know, those were just like my least 2 favorite that I would want them to do.
Like it's not like there's 3 options, and you only had to pick between the 3. There was like 8 of them.
There were so many.
8 or 9. Like there was a bunch.
Like we thought they were going to be like hyped about attention. They kind of like had them talking about, they're like, oh, this song, or like Dollar Dollar, and then some of the other ones they didn't, like no one mentioned La Seraphim or Happiness. Like no one even said anything. So it's like, I don't know. So that was the 2 songs.
Yeah. Disappointing.
Also, because this was live and we weren't watching it live, but the recording, we knew what the teams were because they showed them instantly in the beginning.
Yeah, that's kind of dumb. Like
So
they already showed us what they're
then
going
it
to do.
went back to the show, or like the edited show, and you know there was the draft. So just not a huge deal, but we already did know what the teams were, and the styling because you could see what they were wearing.
And then after that, they kind of went into practicing the signing roles, and you pretty much had the same drama you always do, where it's like people aren't getting the parts they want.
Yeah, every time.
Everyone's kind of down, blah, blah, blah. They just switch things up for the betterment of the team. Everybody's crying.
Yep.
And then after that, we kind of got into the performance stages, and Coco's team went and did La Ta Ta. And I mean, it was good. The stage was really good. Really crazy setup.
I really love the stage, and I love their choice of how they, I don't know, whatever they picked for the outfits, that was really good because everyone looked like it was really fit whatever concept they were going for.
My whole thing was, we were talking about it while we were listening to it, is when they were done, I was legit like, did that even sound good?
I don't know. I kind of didn't know either. I was like, is this a good, like the dancing and the performance was good, but like, was it sounding? I don't know. I didn't.
And it's almost not even like they sounded bad. It's like their voices just didn't sound like it belonged with the song.
Like with the song, right? Yeah. It's like no one like was messing up notes. It's just the way they sang it maybe didn't fit the vibe of what I kind of.
But I'm also not a trained vocal coach, so maybe it's fine. I don't know.
That's just I don't know.
To my untrained ear of 5 years doing this crap,
yeah,
it did not sound like it was that great to me.
And that's how I felt too. That's 100% how I felt too.
At a certain point, does that just make us professionals?
Yeah.
Like you'd think, right?
Well, you got to be able to hear something at this point. But yeah, it just seemed like, I don't know.
Or maybe that's also just like a case of...
It just didn't seem great.
Maybe we've heard the original so much and everyone in Idol's such a unique voice that it didn't sound like that.
Sure.
So it kind of just did not sound how I expected.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, but you're right. I thought the same thing. But the judges' feedback was all really good.
I'll say the only saving grace is I don't remember off the top of my head just because it's been a long time since I've seen the video. But I was hoping that Yuju would just be Sujin because she looks a lot like Sujin. Just be like, hey, you be Sujin.
Yeah.
You fit the mold.
Right.
I mean, they all did good. I don't think any messed up per se.
No.
It just didn't sound
I
right
thought like
to
the
me.
dancing and performance part was good. Everyone had good presence. It was just the singing just kind of didn't seem like it was necessarily like super great as far as like how it was kind of mixed together.
It kind of reminds me of, was it
there was other stages.
Produced 48 maybe, or maybe it was Idol School or something,
Yeah.
where a group had to sing like a Red Velvet song.
Mm-hmm.
And like they didn't do bad, but their voice was just like kind of not mature enough. So
Yeah.
in high pitch, so when they sang it, it just didn't sound good.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I just don't remember exactly what it was. But we've had cases where this has happened before.
And I was like, does this
where
not
they're like,
sound right?
wow, they did a great job and it was perfect, but at the same time, it's like maybe not
Like
what
maybe
the
the
song
pitch
needed.
was too high for it, or like
Yeah.
it just didn't sound right. But then they got some compliments from the judge. Pretty much everyone got compliments today. Like compliments for everybody.
I don't know if it's just because like the live one or because it's the end, like the word ending is like everyone was very nice today.
I mean, like overly nice.
Like everyone was getting compliments. Everyone was.
Of course, the main person that pointed out was Coco.
Yep.
Although everyone else really got
They
praise,
all
so
got
it's
love.
fine.
They all got love from like all the judges kind of talked to a couple people and said they did a good job. So that was good.
And then we had the backtrack of G-Man not being a great leader again. Like every time we've seen her as a leader, she should not be a leader.
She's not built for that role. She's not a leader. I don't think she wants to do it at all. She's just not built for that role.
The best was like when she was talking, they like ask her questions, and it'd just like be like, "Hey, ASMR," and it's like her like whispering to like the
she's
people.
just like kind of quiet. And they're like, "What'd she say?"
She's like, "Hey guys, what role is it?" And they're like, "Excuse me."
That was.
What
funny.
did you say?
That was funny.
But after that, her group went. Of course, at the end of the New World, it's like started out as like a crazy like piano-driven soft ballad,
Yeah.
and then like just took off. Yeah, it's
mean,
into the New World. I don't want you to tell
I
me.
mean, like in this one too is like lots of Thai. You could kind of go different. You could do some different types of stylings and vibes for your concept here, but into the New World, you kind of got one. Like it's not a hard. They didn't. I don't think it was too difficult for them to kind of pick what they were gonna do. So
yeah, it
they had a
had
whole like video intro of like them talking about when they started being idols or trying to be
like,
idols and
Teen Fresh vibe.
it's just
to
like
it.
it's literally just what the vibe of the song is. So
I mean, they sounded a lot better with the song, but also it's into the New World, so I don't know
yeah,
if you
like
really
I think
sound
honestly,
bad
if I
doing
had to, I don't want to say it, but I think I'd have to vote for that as a better stage, even though it's the worst song ever. But yeah, they did good. They sounded really good.
They did. Also, I think my only like bugaboo with that one was that the little dance break they did kind of didn't feel like it really fit with the song itself, like in terms of like the choreography.
Yeah, I can
going
see
into
that.
like that post dance break, it just kind of seemed weird to me.
Right. I can see that.
I don't really know how to explain it. It's
Sure.
like they like threw in moves that did not exist back when the original song was
Yeah, I
made,
know,
so it
they're
seemed
like-
kind of strange.
Changed it up.
But like I said, that's neither here nor there, I guess, because no one really said anything about it.
No.
But I'm also not a professional choreographer, so maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
They also did a weird, like, shimmy shoulder thing. I don't know. Anyways, it was a weird thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they did that. Sounded good. They got praise from everybody. Like, literally every single person, like, went through that. Of course, we got the classic, "Thank you for giving me this" by 24.
We knew it was gonna happen.
When he literally was like, all I gotta say is, and he started laughing to himself. Like,
Like,
he's having,
starting
like,
to kinda
flashbacks
tear
in his
up.
head of, like, the greatest moments of his life. He's like, your performance reminded me of why I got into music to begin
Oh
with.
my god.
And I'm just like, you've got to be freaking kidding
we
me,
left
dude.
the room and almost turned it off.
There's always that one moment when it's like, actually, it is, of course, it's like, G-Man, it all started with you.
Yeah, I know. It's all, I don't know. It was ridiculous. I left the room.
He really did. We had to, like, rewind so we could watch it because he just was, like, so irate.
It's classic 24. We knew it was going to be him, too.
He was really just like, this reminds me of why I started
And he's,
music.
like, tearing up because it's such a sentimental song and everyone loves it. Yeah.
Even, like, Taeyong was saying stuff like that.
I'm like, dude, settle down, Dad.
Like, I don't know. It was weird. They always do that stuff. It's always weird.
They really do.
But, yeah, that happened. I don't know. There was, like, in-house voting or something. I don't really know because they didn't really give you any results. Any of that kind of stuff is just kind of happening.
Yeah.
Then they cut away and we got, like, a little fun side story thing where the girls get to have, like, a post-elimination pajama
It was like
party.
the night before elimination pajama party, so they all dressed up in some pajamas and did their thing.
They were dressed up in little animal outfits as pajamas.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm pretty sure in all the things that we saw, like, the behind the scenes where they were, like, going to bed, none of them actually wore those to bed.
No. Not.
So I'm not sure how authentic that really was.
Some people didn't have them either, so I didn't know it was like a tier thing.
Yeah,
like,
some were like, a little underdressed.
Like, Sabi and a couple other people were, like, embarrassed because they had the lame pajamas.
They said they looked like they were from, like, a nursing
Like a hospital or
outfit
something.
hospital outfit.
But it was funny, and then,
Oh, then we had the big extremely out of the blue for no reason lie detector game.
Yeah, and they just cannot let the rivalry die.
Yeah, all it did was show basically Jungin taking the lie detector test, being asked if it's scared to talk to Jiyun yet, and she passed. And then they asked Jiyun if she really did not hear Jungin say something to her when she came back to I-LAND. And she found out she was a liar, and everyone was super shocked by it. And I don't even remember her saying anything to June during that time. They showed a replay, and
She said
I couldn't even hear her saying anything.
Yeah, I couldn't either, but apparently she said her name or something, and she just ignored her. Which she did because June said she didn't hear her, but apparently the lie detector said.
She's like, I didn't hear her, I don't think.
She's like, I don't think. And it's just funny at this point because it's
so overplayed. It's
so overplayed, and everyone just kind of laughs about it. And they're like, ah ha ha, June was so mean and such a she's so rude, ha ha ha. It's just funny. That's just her.
Pretty much.
But yeah, they just can't let that rivalry go.
And then that was it. They didn't show anybody else.
Nope, no one else did it. I don't know if in the show anyway, no one else even did it. So.
Oh, the other fun part was they just had these super random I don't know, zoom-ins of people's faces during expressions of surprise or shock.
So close. It was so close.
It was so weird. It lingered on them for so long too.
Yeah.
So I don't know who edited those.
It was uncomfortably funny.
Weird.
Because it was a zoom in on June's face. It was very close, or it's blurry.
Yeah, I don't know. It was messed up.
Just to really get the reactions.
And then the last thing they did was they had of course little video notes that they made to each individual person.
Yeah.
And they some of them cried. They're oh yeah, hey, this is so and so, for Fuko. I hope you do well out there, kid. Stay in school.
And guess who had to read the message to someone?
Yeah, I know.
Jungin to June.
Who would have guessed it?
It's really been I don't know. I feel like it's almost, which, I mean, it ended up okay, but I almost feel like that's kind of taken away from Jungin a little bit from previous episodes. It's just that's what it's become is ooh, the rivalry. That's what she's kind of known
That's
for.
the only thing keeping her relevant right now.
It was the rivalry with Jiyun, blah, blah, blah. Sujung wrote to Yuju, and that made Yuju cry a lot. They didn't show everybody, obviously. So there were some people who I have no idea what. And
then we got a flashback later on of Sabi riding one to Coco, and apparently Jimin just has the biggest crush of all time on Sabi or something, because she was super jealous of this.
Yeah, she was very upset about it.
Yeah, I don't know. She brought it up.
Which it shouldn't have been a surprise that Sabi was going to write to Coco, I feel like.
Because, yeah, they're been connected this entire show.
A long time now, for
they've
weeks.
They're the side story to Jungin and Ji, because they're always matched up together.
Pretty much. It really is. But, yeah, and then, I mean, for the sake of the show, they didn't, no idea who some people wrote to, didn't write to.
For half the show, I didn't even know Juwon or Mei was even there.
Yeah. They just kind of, have a camera angle of them sitting there.
Yeah, but they really didn't talk or do anything.
No. And then after that, they all went and slept in the practice room.
Yeah, the best is they set up a makeshift place to sleep in the practice room, and it's just a comforter on the ground.
Right.
But no, that was fun. I guess it's kind of cool to see a different side of him. Although
yeah, just I
feel in other shows they do way more fun things than that. But
yeah, I know. It is entertaining to see the fun stuff. Even though it was kind of, I think just what took away is literally it was the fun stuff, but all right, let's just talk about Jungin and Jiyun again.
Oh, and every time they kept bringing up enjoy your last nights together.
I know.
It's just the most ominous message.
It's just kind of sad, and it's okay, I appreciate the idea here, but this kind of is just sad. So
have fun is the last night of 12 members.
Yeah, people will be leaving you
this
for
will be the
forever.
Last time you're all together, so please take it and enjoy it. I'm wow, this is kind of
sleep on the ground and yeah. So that was the fun part of the episode.
Don't take it for granted.
Pretty much.
And then after that, we kind of got into the weird. I thought it was just eliminations. I thought they're just gonna eliminate the two people and be done with it, always. But they actually showed the votes of people who got the most votes.
Yeah.
And they got saved. And then I guess the producer people picked the other 7.
Yeah, we weren't 100% sure on this.
I must have missed something in there when they said that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it all happened, so obviously
and
we got
honestly, we are who we thought we were, and the people that got eliminated are the same people we said were going to get eliminated last week, so that's not really a shock.
Yeah, it was kind of surprising how we got there, but the 2 people who left, it was not super surprising.
Really, the only one that was super shocking, in my opinion, was that Jungin was number 2.
Yeah.
People voted for
She
her.
made it for the voting standpoint, I think. She was number 2.
She was really close to being the same, or she's just a little above Ji-yoon.
They both had 2.6 something. Like, it was pretty close.
According to this, she was more by basically like 12,000.
Wow, that's actually
it's pretty close.
That's pretty close in these types of shows. That's really close.
So, I mean, those top 3. I mean, the other ones were kind of picked by the judges, but the top 3 were way higher than the other ones.
We never even saw a total.
Because Coco, who got picked by the judges.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I guess after that, it doesn't really matter. We have the top 3 of Jimin, who, of course, was number 1 by a lot.
Yeah, she should.
Somehow, Jungin was number 2 after we complained about it last week for getting screwed over.
She's really like second to last. I don't know.
And then Ji-yoon is still number 3.
Yeah.
But then the next, like I said, 7 were picked by the judges. And number 4 is Fuko. 5 was Coco. 6 was Gyuri. Good job, Gyuri.
Yeah.
And that would be your starting lineup right there if the show ended. Number 7 was Sarang. Number 8 was Sabi. Number 9 was Mei. Number 10 was Yuju. And then the 2 people that got eliminated were Sujung and Juwon, which we already knew was going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, just from watching the show.
We guessed it.
But Ji-yoon was number 3 with 2,635,024.
Yeah.
And the person by votes, who would have been number 4, was Coco. And she had 2,208,981. So basically she had 400,000 less than what Ji-yoon did. So, I mean, that's a lot. A big difference.
Yeah, it is.
And then number 5 would have been Sabi. And she had like 100,000, not even 100,000 less, like maybe like 13,000 less than Coco.
Okay.
But that's still way below what the other people
That's
had.
just interesting because they didn't even, when they did the judges ones, they didn't even show an amount for them. They made it. So they didn't even show like, oh, this is the votes you would have got. You know what I mean?
So if we're going off votes, the top 6 were Jimin, Jungin, Ji-yoon, Coco, Sabi, and then Sarang.
Yeah.
Followed by Mei, Yuri, and then Yuju.
Man, good job, Yuri, then.
And then Sujung and Juwon weren't even close. They didn't even make a million.
Really?
Yeah, they're the only ones that didn't get into the millions. So they were pretty much doomed either way.
Dang. Well, yeah, I don't know. I just didn't 100% understand the whole judges thing, but it worked out. It worked out.
I mean, if we're going based off the votes right now, if they get the same votes next for like the next one,
why wouldn't
you
they?
easily are going to have the top 5 are just going to be
It's just gonna be the same
Jimin,
thing.
Jungin, Ji-yoon, Coco, and Sabi.
Yeah.
And then it'll be a battle for who's going to be number 6. But, I mean...
I feel like all those other people are pretty set to be
based
in
off
there.
this, it'll be Fuko.
Yeah.
Because as of right now, Fuko is about 300,000 above Sarang, so... she could squeak in there number 6, or maybe Coco. Maybe Sarang will be number 6, I don't know. But the first 5 seem pretty cemented right
Yeah, I can't really see one of those people not being there.
And really, the one that I'm most surprised by is Jungin, because everyone was hating on her for like the last, like, what, month?
Right.
No love from anybody.
She got a good amount of votes.
She literally got voted by the live audience dead last. Well, not dead last. 11th out of 12
Yeah, but
last week. And then the judges even ranked her pretty low, too. So.
Yeah, really low.
And was she end up finishing like 10th or something like that?
She was like second to last.
Yeah, it was not good.
She was 11. That helped her, I guess. Everyone's like, we got to get votes back for her. But, yeah, that was it. Pretty much the whole 3-hour episode, pretty much.
Could have been like another hour episode, but
yeah,
what you gonna do?
It's just those other people didn't really stand a chance to make it, so.
And regardless of
I
where
just
the
feel like
numbers landed,
it's just so, like, done already.
Well, as I said, regardless of where the numbers landed, we already knew who the 10 people that were going to go to the finals were going to be.
Yeah, and it's like, I feel like it's just so, there's maybe one spot that's kind of like up in the air of like, who is it going to be between like 2 people? Everyone else, it's like, yeah, they're already there. Like, the group's pretty much done. Which I guess for these kind of shows, unless it's like wild changes to voting, which could happen, you just kind of know what's going to, like, you know who's going to be there.
Yeah.
It's not like going to be crazy differences. But, I mean, it's still going to... It's good. It's good people. So, yeah, that was the episode.
Next week, we have the final eliminations.
And we'll see our group, our I-LAND2 group.
Yeah, we'll see them at KCON.
Yeah, we will.
In less than a month.
Pretty crazy.
It is. In person. Live and in person.
Yeah, whatever.
Hopefully they have Nasris for sale.
Whatever. That's all I want. Whatever they're going to do, we don't know, but that's okay.
Yeah, let us know what you guys think. Who's going to be the final lineup? Because I was going to say if you thought the eliminations were right, but we already knew who the 2 people getting eliminated were, unfortunately. Yeah. But yeah, let us know what you think the final lineup's going to be. Your last lineup predictions. I'll throw one up on our YouTube channel. Go watch our reel. It'll be our last predictions of who's going to be the final people.
Yeah.
All it's probably going to be the exact same as what it was the last time.
I know.
Actually, the exact same as probably the very first show.
It's probably like the same thing as right now. It's just cut off the last 4 people.
Except for Chan. She's not going to be there. I definitely put her in the top, but she was getting a lot of screen time there for a while.
She was.
You know, she probably had the most screen time out of the people who got eliminated.
Like I'd say Sujung probably got more screen time than Chan.
I mean, yeah, she was there longer, so I guess
exactly.
I guess up until Chan got eliminated.
For all the people who were like, you probably weren't going to ever make it. Yeah, I'd say she probably got the most screen. She did get a lot of screen time.
But I legit thought just from the show showing her so much that she was going to be in the group.
Yeah, she powered through. A little while.
But we'll see. Final lineup next week. Probably going to be like a 3.5 hour long episode.
Just got to really hunker down.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be a long one. But we'll end the show with our Idol of the Week. And of course, it's going to be Dosey because I just saw her.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Had a lot of good fan interactions. Long story short, I talked to her a bunch. Showed her my cool shirt, all that good stuff. Like I said, we talked about in our other podcasts we put up. But then I made me remember there's all these idols out there, but she's still just like the love of my life. So definitely the best.
It's a fair way to put it.
Yeah. So I'm picking her as my idol of the week again.
Good job, Dosey.
Classic.
I know of all the times, this seems like the best.
I know, it's like this is the one week I'm not picking her because I got
48 hours ago.
Yeah, no. She deserves it. It was a super great concert. Like I said, a lot of great fan interactions. I got to talk to her a bunch, so
yeah,
it was great.
Yeah.
Who's yours going to be?
I was going to pick Yuki because of everything you just said, pretty much. They loved our shirt. Speaking of that, real quick, Dosey loved your shirt. Yuki loved my shirt. They're like so surprised to see the love. But also, everybody loved our shirts.
Yeah, we got a lot of compliments.
My gosh.
We got a lot of compliments.
People were like, those shirts are crazy.
Where did you get that? I'm like,
oh my gosh, did you make that yourself? Like, did you paint those? Yeah, we just got Etsy shirts and pretty much like the bootleg ones that has like the big name and then pictures of the person. You can literally get anything you want, and they have them everywhere. But yeah, people were like in shock of these shirts.
Yeah, so, I don't think we've got this many comments on a article of clothing since we saw them the first time in Louisville. We had those basic ones that just said K-pop kimchi on them.
Yeah.
And everyone asked where they could get one at.
Oh my god.
I don't know why they're so into those.
Yeah. It was just funny because
but they love the new ones.
Like, where did you get this? It's Etsy. Etsy, anything's possible on Etsy, and it's like $25. So that was great, and the girls loved it too, and that's what mattered. But I'm gonna pick my idol of the week as Chan from Purple Kiss.
Oh yeah.
Because she's also incredible and an incredible vocalist. And just the best. All of Purple Kiss is the best. But I'm going to pick Chan just because why not?
Oh, that's a great pick.
She left a very lasting impact on the show. So.
I could not.
It was so fun. Great show. Wish we could have seen him again, but maybe we will.
Oh, yeah. There you go. For anyone who doesn't listen to our other episode, I don't know why you wouldn't because it's going to be awesome.
That's the one to listen to.
Yeah, I know. If you're listening to go listen to the one from...
If you want to hear us be passionate about a subject...
yeah, go listen to the one that we played before. But we're going to go see Purple Kiss again in Canada.
Might as well.
We actually said something about going there again earlier in the podcast. I don't know. That seems like it's forever ago now.
Sure.
But yeah, we're going to go see them again at this Korean festival thing they're doing. Not sure what it is. Literally no details. No idea what's happening. All we know is Purple Kiss is going to be there in Toronto once again, and it's free, so we're going to go.
Yeah, on a weekend in August, and they are the main...
Headliner.
They're the headliner, so I guess that means maybe other people, but Purple Kiss will be there. And we said, hey, let's do it.
Let's go.
Why not?
Hang out with our Canadian bros.
Let's go see Purple Kiss. It said they're going to perform 2 days.
Yeah.
So, and then it said details to follow, so we'll find out more and we'll let you know, but...
And it's so far, every time they've been to America or Canada... We've seen them, so why would we not go?
We got to keep it going.
Yeah.
Would have loved to go to the...
How else is Golan going to remember me if she never sees me every time they're here?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's going to be fun. And I keep talking about this vlog that I'm going to make. And I just uploaded all 83 videos I took. And I'm going to work on that tomorrow instead of actually doing my magic thing I'm supposed to be doing.
There you go.
So look forward to that. If you're listening to this before you watch that, or if you're watching that before you listen to this, let me know what you thought of it, because I've only made one before. I'm not really sure what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm going to try my best.
There you go.
Fighting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, until next week, when you see our elimination videos, and we finish I-LAND2, go stay in your faves.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.